All right, listen to these startling facts. Childhood obesity has more than doubled in the past 30 years. In 2010, more than 1/3 of children and adolescents were overweight or obese. To really understand those numbers, we need to understand the definition of being overweight. It's all about your BMI, body mass index. Now, don't get too confused. We're going to break this all down for you right now. Joining us is our expert, Dr. Patricia Cantrell from the American Academy of Pediatrics, San Diego. And we're so excited to have you here.
Thank you, Tam.
Number one, I want to break down the difference between obesity in adults and in children because they're measured differently, right?
Right. When you're an adult, you have completely grown and your height isn't changing. So we have standards for adults such as a body mass index above 25 is considered overweight, and a body mass index above 30 is obese. And that's a height to weight ratio. There's a formula for that. For kids, that's changing as you grow. And so children that are younger are going to have actually lower body mass indexes. But if you have a 5-year-old with a body mass index of 20, that might be too high, but in an adult that would actually be fine.
Now let me ask you, for the parents out there, I know for adults, if you're wondering if you're obese or just overweight, there are simple measurements. You can go online to put in your height, your weight, and it will tell you what your BMI is. And I feel like it's still very conservative if you ask me. But is there tools for children as well to help parents decide whether they need to bring it back in as far as what they're feeding their children?
Well, the best place would probably be to discuss this with your pediatrician. Okay. Because we have scales that we can show parents based on their age, their height, their weight, where their BMI is, because it changes as they're growing. Yeah. So, if you have any concerns when you have your well checkups, or if you're more concerned and you want to see your pediatrician now, go in, ask to see the BMI, and the pediatrician can plot that out for you, and you can figure it out for your child. But there probably are some tools, I think, some websites like letsmove.gov that Michelle Obama created, they may have tools or links to tools that you could figure out your child's body mass index.
And as a parent, you probably know instinctively if your child is overweight. The first part, the most important part is, figure out what are you putting into your child's body. What kind of fuel are they giving? What kind of fuel are you giving your child so they can grow at an optimal way, feed their brain, feed their muscles, their tissue, cells, everything, right?
Right. And I think people don't realize that this problem starts in the preschool and toddler years. One out of every 3 obese preschoolers becomes an obese adult. 1 out of every 2 obese children becomes an obese adult. And so we used to think, well, let's just let them outgrow that baby fat, but they're not outgrowing it. And part of that problem is that we are feeding junky food to our kids, and we might not even realize it. Some parents don't actually realize their kids are overweight. They're not educated. They're buying something that they think is healthy, but they're not reading the labels.
You know what I see a lot, what people bring to my attention a lot, because I have this health and beauty video blog that goes out around the world, that quite often, if you see an obese parent, you have an obese child. If you have a healthy parent with the right BMI, you have the same in the child, because children look to their parents to emulate.
Yes.
They're their primary example, their primary significant other. Yeah. So it is so important, be the person you want your child to be. Right. Not just in health issues, but in all areas of life, right?
Absolutely.
Character, everything.
And you brought up a great point. We know that if one parent is obese, the chance that that child is going to be obese as an adult is tripled. It's a 3 times the increased risk. If both parents are obese, the chance that the child is going to be obese is 12 times the normal rate. And some of that is genetic, but a lot of it is environment too. It's probably a combination of the two. So, if you can be a healthy parent, if you're not quite so healthy, get healthier, and your kids can follow that example. But of course, try for yourself first, but also definitely try to put some healthy food into your.
Okay, so what kind of food did you bring some culprits here that are pretty average in people's homes, I would imagine?
And I think people don't realize what is inside their foods. I want everybody to start reading labels because, for instance, I found this fruit drink. Well, I call it a fruit drink. It has a little bit of fruit juice in it, but it's right next to the orange juice. You know, so people will think that this is 100% orange juice, right? Or it has a lot of juice in it. It actually, the first ingredient is water, and the second ingredient is corn syrup. Corn syrup is basically a sweetener, and it's not healthy for you, and it's sugar.
It is horrible.
And then, you know, in fine print is, and it may have less than 2% of these juices, and it names a few juices. This is sugar water, you know? This is a common snack, right? And the Cracker Jacks, you might think that the first ingredient is popcorn. No, it's sugar. And the second ingredient, corn syrup.
Yeah, you see some parents out there, oh, it's corn and peanuts. It's got to be healthy. Look, bring back over that Sunny Delight over here. I love the misleading advertising here. It says 100% vitamin C. So a parent's going to go, well, wow, my kids love it. It's good for them.
Yeah.
No, it's deceiving. Throw it out. What else you got?
Oh, this is the bane of my existence. I have seen kids come in and gain weight over a year, and I look at them and I say, did you start eating hot Cheetos? And the parent looks at me, how did you know? Because these are addictive, the kids love them. 21 pieces are 160 calories. 21 pieces. Kids don't eat 21 pieces.
And
they eat
fat and preservatives.
Fat. It's all fat.
And preservatives that are toxic to your body, if you ask me.
Exactly. Even this here, this is from Trader Joe's, and it has popcorn is the first ingredient, and it has a little bit of sugar, but much, much less, and it doesn't have the high fructose corn syrup in it, and it's much healthier choice. So if you're gonna you want healthier options, instead of drinking this sugary drink, drink water. And eat the orange. The orange has the fiber in it. We want foods with fiber. We want whole grain foods. Don't buy the white bread, buy the whole wheat bread. Don't buy just the plain apple juice. Eat the apple, drink the water. Water and low-fat milk is what we recommend.
Yeah, because you want the fruit, you want the kids to have the fiber. So I use the weekend, and I'm usually working weekends too, so I find a few hours during the weekend to get organized for the whole week. Otherwise, I could not feed my kids healthy.
Yeah.
So I stock up in vegetables, and if you can't find, or a lot of people can't afford organic because it's so expensive, well, you know what I do? Take my sink, fill it up with warm water, put a couple drops of Dawn, soak it in. I know it sounds gross, but it's taken off the pesticides, and then you rinse thoroughly, and you've got, you know, it wasn't grown organically, but it's better than not taking off the pesticides.
Oh yeah, no, honestly.
Always buy organic if you can.
If you can, I agree, but our kids are eating hot Cheetos. And I mean, honestly, a lot of kids for lunch in middle school and high school, hot Cheetos and a Coke, that's their lunch.
That is...
I can't tell you how
well,
many.
that's how I grew up. I grew up where I would buy a donut at school, and I would eat some French fries for lunch, and I never had energy.
Yeah.
I never had energy. I couldn't figure out, oh my gosh, I'm so young and I feel like I'm 90. And it wasn't until I started educating myself about nutrition and turned my diet around. And I will tell you, at my age now, decades later, I feel better than I felt a lot better than I did in high school. Just because you are what you eat.
Exactly.
You know?
Yeah, yeah.
And get out there, move your body. Your body's meant to move, not sit in a freaking chair
you know
watching TV all day.
What's interesting, that's a very important point. One of the things that is associated most with obesity is sedentary lifestyle. So that child that is doing more than 2 hours of screen time, video, TV a day is that has the highest association with obesity. You might think it was the diet. Actually, no, it's the sedentary lifestyle. So we put those limits on our kids. My own children, 2 hours, that's it, you're out, you know. Between Monday through Friday, there is no TV or video games. You know, we exercise, we do our homework, do some other creative things. Get that stuff out. You know, get the kids out, moving. Put 1 hour exercise a day, no more than 2 hours.
And this is all good advice if you don't have kids to implement in your own lifestyle. But there's the guideline, right? The ratio. Talk about that. The 5 to 1.
There's a messaging campaign that was created back in Maine, but it's kind of spread throughout the nation, and it's an easy way to remember 4 really important points. The 5210 is what it's called. The 5 stands for 5 servings of fruits and vegetables. A serving for a child is about the size of the palm of your hand. So some kids who are smaller, a serving is smaller. Bigger kids, bigger serving. So 5 servings of fruits and vegetables a day, no more than 2 hours of screen time a day, 1 hour of exercise every day. biking, anything like that. School, you know, they have some PE in school, but schools don't have
Not
that
enough.
much.
No, they're not funded for PE anymore.
No. And then the 0 is 0 sodas and sugary drinks. So really water, low-fat milk, that's what we recommend. The more you get them, just get them started. If you're only at 1 fruit or vegetable a day, go to 2. Then go to 3, and in a couple weeks go to 4, and
Wing them off the junk food like it's drugs.
No, you know what?
Oh
it
my God.
is. It's addictive.
Yeah.
It is. It has been. The sugar has. There's so much sugar in our food right now. It has been shown to be addictive, and so we have to get them off. You have to wean them down.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.